Annyeonghaseyo! What's good, everyone? It's your boy, Matt Diazbo, coming at you with some new music reviews. Today, I am checking out the debut album from Peggy Gou with her album, I Hear You. About Peggy Gou is she is a Korean DJ who is based out of Germany, but is from Incheon, South Korea, where I currently live. Yeah, go Incheon. Yeah, she's been making music since about 2009 because she used to like go back and forth between Europe and Korea, and over time just developed her skills as a DJ and put out some mixtapes here and there or some EPs, some singles here and there. But she finally was able to create a full debut album here with this new album, I Hear You. And I gotta say, I just saw her last night performing live at a festival here in Seoul. I think it was called Slow Live or something. And I've heard of Peggy Gou, for the past couple years. Oh, Peggy Gou this, Peggy Gou that. She's a DJ. She's from Germany, yada yada yada. And I just never really got around to her. But because of this music channel, I thought, oh, this is a good opportunity because I want to see during this festival, Joji's going to perform. And I was like, oh, Peggy Gou and Yeji, cool. I love Yeji. Let's see Peggy Gou and this girl named Audrey Nuna. Peggy Gou, I was thoroughly surprised just how she was able to command the crowd and the audience for 90 minutes. She was able to keep everyone going and kept it very entertaining with her dancers, the music, the remixing of her music, and just the interaction she had with. I was really surprised at how minimum of an interaction she had with the crowd, but she like did it at the right times, at the right place, right when like the lull was coming down and everyone was just kind of chilling, and she was able to bring everyone back in with just simple things like simple, how's everyone doing? But she has just a very commanding presence to her, which was really impressive to me. So I had to check this album out, and I gotta say, quite impressed. Very, very, very good album. I'm excited to talk about it. And so I gotta say to Miss Peggy Gou, I hear you, I see you, and I feel this album just running through my body, through my soul, and every inch of it because you've made a very, very impressive and just uh, very, very, very well crafted album here, I think. She's done a really good job here of creating some intricate soundscapes with the use of new and old sounds from like different decades, different countries, different cultures. And she's done a really good job of melding these things and these ideas together while also creating some really good, catchy, and just like infectious hooks. This Korean born DJ who is based out of Germany is doing a great job of showing off her music in terms of like the things that have influenced her and just how she's taken those influences and like re-imaging them and repackaging them and showing how she interprets these styles and these cultures and these languages and just giving you some really, really, really good songs. One of the biggest influences you can clearly tell on this album is the 90s and early 2000s house, rave, techno scene, particular on songs on Back to One, I Believe in Love Again, and It Goes Like Na Na Na. Like you can just hear her influences and just how much she's a child of the 90s. And it just is just, you know, ingrained in her music style. And I want to play a clip of It Goes Like, and you that's like a perfect encapsulation of her vision of what the 90s was to her and what she wants to do with her style of music going on into the future. So I think it's a good combination of those two worlds coming together. So infectious. I love that she's showing off like the different cultures she's really infatuated with because she's not just singing in English, she's not just singing in Korean, she's throwing in some Spanish in there as well. So it mixes things up very nicely. So you get some nice diverse sounds because you get different words being sung in different languages. So you get a nice, nice variety on this album. Like on the song All That, the mixing of Spanish and her vocals sound really good. And I'm really impressed by her pronunciation of these Spanish words. She sounds really good. So here's a clip of that. mixing of English and Spanish just sounds really good here. And I really love that she's mixing that old 90s, 2000s house rave music with her style of Korean singing because it creates a really haunting and icy and chill like style to it. Like on the songs Lobster Telephone or I Go, the way that her vocals sound and then the beats have like a really chill and icy beat to it, it's really, really impressive. So I want to play a clip of I Go. It's particularly because literally Aigo is my first like word I ever learned growing up, and it's like my favorite word in English, Korean, or whatever. It conveys so many emotions. I love it. So here's a clip of that song right now. Like you get that sense, that underlying like 90s feel to it, but she's throwing in her own spin on it with this singing in Korean and just adding some other little uh I guess you could say beats and synths to it to just make it feel a little bit different. And I love how she incorporates a lot of those old house and techno beats with what was it the hi-hats and the low beats. The songs slowly creep up on you, and next thing you know, you just want to like vibe and dance the night away. Particularly on the song "One Plus One Equals 11," it has a nice slow build to it that just infects your body in a great way. And I've talked about her vocals on this album before, but I want to touch on that a little bit more. And just like I like how she has different vocal ranges from sounding big and bold and inspirational to like more haunting and mesmerizing, depending on the track and depending on the language, whether she's using English, Korean, or Spanish. And I like that these vocal styles she's using here really help, like, I guess in a way sense, lets you let your guard down and the music can really embrace you and you can feel it because it just everything about this album just slowly creeps up on you, and by the end of a song or something, you're like just vibing out to it. Great beats, great execution on her part when it comes to the vocals and utilizing them in the best way. In those moments when your guard is down and you're listening to this music, she comes in with some really good and catchy hooks that just make you like keep singing the songs after the song is over. Like on the songs It Goes Like Na 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 and Aigu, the choruses and the hooks on these songs are really fantastic. For majority of this album, she is able to create very infectious sounds and really crisp sounding vocals that just, draw you in and make you want to listen more and more. But I gotta say, there's one track on here particular that just feels like a real big detour slash it just doesn't really fit in with the rest of the whole album and just the atmosphere of this album. And that song is Soul is Peggy Gou. Because on this song, it feels really, really like forced in a way, slash like heavy-handed to you because they are bringing Western style, I guess, music, house, rave music, and trying to incorporate Asian music, Asian traditional music with it. And I think it just goes badly and it's a bit of a misfire because I don't know what it is, but like it doesn't feel like it's an actual, I don't know if these are actual Korean traditional instruments they're using on this track, but it feels like someone just like listened to some Asian beat and was like, oh, this sounds Korean, throw that in there. I don't know if she's trying to incorporate Korean instruments into her music or not, but that's what it feels like with this track. And me being half Korean myself, I would say my knowledge is pretty good of most Korean cultural things, music, history, and stuff. I have a good idea, but listening to it, it just felt like some weird stock music of Asian music, and it just threw off the whole song. It just doesn't really sound good. They sound horribly mixed in together. Like they're just putting these two kind of beats together and hoping a song kind of comes together, and it feels a little bit on the pandering side of it. I don't know. It just really throws off this record a little bit, this particular track. I think though on the song 1 plus 1 equals 11, towards the end of that track, they seem to try again and incorporate some more traditional sounding instruments. And I think they do a better job on there of more making it more subtle because it's at the end of the song and it kind of comes in more in the background. and it feels more natural, while the whole soloist Peggy Gou feels very, very forced. And so that's like the one thing about this album that just kind of feels a little bit off for me. Regardless of that one like misdirect with that song, I think Peggy Gou is doing a really, really good job of expanding and making musicianship and musicians in Korea a little bit more legitimate in a weird way, without being pigeonholed to this one thing that a lot of Koreans are doing these days, that I just don't think it's good for the culture, I guess, in a way, or at least it's just pigeonholing it a lot when they put K something, K drama, K pop, K music. I feel like that takes away from the music a little bit, or takes away from the art, because you're pigeonholing it to this one thing, specific thing. While Peggy Gou is making something that is just pure art with this music she's making, because it transcends different genres and different cultures and stuff. But it's not trying to be one thing particularly. And I feel like more Korean artists should be more creatively free instead of pigeonholing themselves to K something. And so I think that being said, this album is amazing. It's well produced, has a very nostalgic, but also like it pushes the genre of house and DJ a little bit more, and it feels really, really good. And I gotta say, and with the catchy hooks and everything is just so easy to listen to over and over. So I gotta say, this album from Peggy Gou is a good and solid 9 out of 10. Mm. Links down below. Check them out. Check her out. It was really cool seeing her. If you ever get a chance to see Peggy Gou, go watch her. She puts on a great show. And until next time, guys, I will see you in the pit.